Hi everyone, Lanessa here. I am going to do a demo on how to put your makeup on if you just got it and you're feeling intimidated. So this is simple, this is easy, but like anything, it's a process. You got to try it a couple of times and get your head wrapped around it. So I'm going to try to make this really simple for you. So for starters, this is my palette. So I've got my two highlights, my main highlight, which matches most of my face. So it is going to go, I'm like backwards here. It is going to go the main areas around my face, but because this isn't layered makeup, we can skip sections. So I'll like skip where my contour is going and where my cheek color will go. And I can take that around my forehead, and it doesn't matter if you dot this, if you line this, it does not matter. It blends so nice, it warms up on the skin, it doesn't matter. I like to take my main underneath of my eye because I have some structure issues there. But if you don't have that like I do, like the loop or the fine lines, you can try your brightener there, absolutely. I also like to take my darker color on my nostrils because you never want to go lighter where you might have larger pores. So if that is the case for you, kind of in your inner cheeks, stick with your main there. I have red cheeks and my main has a color corrector right in it for that. So that's super simple for me. I will mix my brightener and my main generally around my mouth because I'm just a little lighter here. So all I have to do is dip into both, place them, they'll blend out really nicely. I'll take that bright one again, my chin, and I'll do my eyes. I do already have some contour actually around my eyes, so know that you can play with this down the road. Contour and bronzer are two of my favorite natural ways to just give myself a little lift, a little awake in the morning. Very simple, but we're not going to go there today. We're going to brighten down the center, the bridge of my nose, and that is it. So I am going to, for today, I am going to blend that as being like step one. So if you are just like looking at your palette and you're confused, you don't have to contour and illuminate and bronze the first time. You don't have to. It's your makeup and it's your face. So generally I'll blend from the lightest up to the darkest, but really with my two highlights, it does not matter. You can't screw this up, so don't worry, don't think you can. I'm just gonna blend that out, and this is like the bigger end of the blush and bronzer brush, and blend that out. So start, especially when you're new, start with a little bit of product, just like I did. It's really easy to add more if you need it, but if you put too much on, it's going to be sticky. It's going to look greasy because it's not going to set, and it will quite likely be actually the wrong color because it's very pigmented, so that you can use a tiny little bit of it, which is where you get that like second skin feeling. So too much is a problem, so start light. And I know if you're coming off liquids and powders, you used to be able to use a lot of it, but this is new. So for me, I can see that a bit of my red cheeks came through, so I'll actually just use my brush and I can just place it right on there and blend out. So it's as simple as that down the road when you understand where everything goes and why. And I'll just blend out my eyes there. So I could stop there for today if I wanted. I could add bronzer. So bronzer, it's shimmerless and it's got no orange color. So it's the bigger fluffy end here, and I'll just dab right into it. You will notice in your palette that bronzer can be a little bit messy. You can actually wash your palette with your brush cleaner or a microfiber. If you have the paper material, you don't want to get it wet, but you can wipe it down. So bronzer, I'll generally just do that, some warmth around my forehead. So I am very pale and we're getting into the start of winter, so my tan is pretty much gone. So I will just bronze right around there. You can go right over your cheeks if you want, right over your nose. Like I said, bronzer, I love it around my eyes. I've actually taken a little brush and made myself bronzer freckles. It's really quite fun. You can mix it to use as a lip and cheek color, a lip color. If you want something a little bit darker, you can't mess this up. If you're fair like me, you can use this on your neck. I will do this all summer long because my face will get a tan, but my neck will stay white. So that's one more use for bronzer that you might not have known. From there, I might get into lip and cheek. This is Hollywood. It's one of my favorites. It's a satin, and it's one of the few that has a bit of a gold shimmer in it. So it's very nice on anyone. And lip, and cheek. So where you put your cheek color is up to you. I tend to go a little bit higher right on my cheekbone here, but a little bit higher. I won't add the color right on my cheek because I have natural redness there. So I don't need more when I'm just trying to cover it. So I'll take my lip and cheek right there, and you can use a little bit of it. You can add more. That's the glory of these. It's super simple and super easy. So that's a little bit there. And then illuminator is like the shimmer. If you got that, I hope you did. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things. You can just see there. It just catches the sunlight, which just actually kind of gives me a little bit more cheekbone than I have. So right in there, illuminator. You can also put it on the tip of your nose just to catch like the tiniest bit of light. You can go right down the bridge of your nose. Again, it's not going to be super obvious. It's just going to catch a little bit of light. So it's really fun. Right above your lip there will catch some light. You can go eyebrow arches. If I wasn't wearing eyeshadow, well, really I am, and I still can. It just catches a little bit of light there. It's a very versatile. If you bought a powder, you can still do all of these places, just maybe not your lip. And it generally is not quite as subtle. So you just be soft-handed, or use like a little brush, like maybe even your eyeshadow brush. If you have a powder, you can just dust it on just nicely like that. So that could be it today if you wanted. And then contour. I hope you're not afraid of contour. I know it can be very scary because it used to be very complicated, but I promise you that it isn't. So I'll just use my finger and a tiny little bit, and I can just kind of slim my nose or streamline it. So when you're doing this, you don't want to be right on that skinny center, that top part, but you do want to take it kind of up towards your eyebrow, and you can have a lot of fun with this. And if you are scared of contouring, try it out on a day when you're home. Play with that. So it just kind of subtly, it's not obvious. It's not like I have brown streaks coming down my nose, but it just ever so subtly slims my nose. So my favorite brush for contouring is actually the detail brush because it has this nice like domed rectangular end. So it's just simple. It fits right in here. And again, you don't need a lot. And then I will just find, the biggest thing with cheekbones is you do not want to be down here. You don't want to be right off your cheekbone, kind of on your teeth, if you can feel that, like that's a tooth right in there. You want to be above that because you want to lift. So you want to be almost like, not connecting, but right below like that cheek color, because we'll marry them together. So right there, you can see just the way the sunlight is hitting. It's right in that natural shadow. So there is that, like, I don't want to bring it down here, not on my face, but you can see that it's on the cheekbone. So that's the most important thing, is just higher, not lower. And I have watched some videos from ladies, 20 and 30 years my senior, and they're like, we put it right on our cheekbone because we want some lift. So around your forehead is a nice simple way. If you have a short forehead, like there's foreheads that are much shorter than mine, a lower forehead, you might actually not want to contour your forehead because you will not want to shrink it. For me, I have a fair sized forehead, so I can draw your eyes in and down towards my face. So I'm actually really just making my brightener stand out better with some contrast. And really from the side, like your forehead scoops back here, so it naturally has a shadow. So we're just making it bigger. If you are fair like me too, I really challenge you to play with your contour and your bronzer, because you're going to get the most depth, not by leaning into your fairness, because we're already fair. We don't need to be more fair. We actually need some contrast. We need contrast with our contour and with our bronzer. So I'm just blending that in and up, never down. We don't want, like I said, we don't want it down and below. And that's it. So my cheeks flush up a little bit. So if yours do too, don't be alarmed. Just leave it alone for a minute and it will generally settle. So the shadow, you can see I have a shadow underneath of my lip. So a tiny little bit of contour. I can just make it a little bit more, which gives me a little bit more of a pouty lip from the side or whatever. And then same with jawline. I don't always do this because I still have a jawline, but I'm lucky so far. But it makes a massive difference if you've got more like flesh connection there. to take that contour right along. You're basically going to create a jawline. So you want to be kind of right on your jawline across. I hate the word jowl, but everybody knows what a jowl is. You want to just basically cut it in half. So that back of the jawline if you want, and below. So I really like to apply contour with the brush because you don't have to worry about blending it out so much. Just get like the tiniest bit on your brush and it'll blend as you go. And if you have a double chin, same thing, just decide where you want to make that chin end and you can go right there. The shadow just tricks people's eyes into thinking that there is an ending basically. So it's super simple like that. So please play with your contour if you are afraid. Play with your bronzer if you are afraid. What's the worst that can happen? Especially at home, you might just have you might just have photo makeup. So darker, heavier makeup at home while you make dinner, whatever, who cares, right? We're just having fun. With time, every time you apply it, you'll learn placement, you'll learn what you like, and it will get fast in no time at all. It doesn't take very long, and you know exactly how much main highlight you need, exactly how much brightener. It gets very fast, and then all of your makeup is in here. You've got your 1 or 2 brushes. It's fantastic. And questions or concerns, please contact me. This is my favorite part of the job, is supporting you once you have it in hand. So any questions, if you're having difficulties with something, fire me a message. I probably have the answer. I'm sure I've dealt with it already. And seasonal matches. So if you got your makeup in winter, come summer, it's going to get too light. Contact me, I'll rematch you. Generally, we only need 1, maybe 2 more highlights, but usually just 1, and then I can match you and help you with that. And same thing on the reverse. If you bought your makeup in the summer and all of a sudden it's too dark, I will match you again for winter. And the little tints, they don't dry out. They'll be good for you in 6 months when the seasons change again if you haven't used them all. If you need help melting them when they're almost gone, contact me. I can teach you how to melt them to get all the product out of the edges. It's really super fun. If you are having issues with longevity or wiping off or oil, contact me. I have tips for all of these things. And then if you want to down the road get more lip and cheeks, illuminators, eyeshadows, brushes, I'm here for that too. So even birthday and Christmas, like Mother's Day, if someone's like, hey, what do you want? Don't say nothing. Say that you want the detail brush. you want some eyeshadows. You want some money so you can get some makeup that you will love. You don't need more flowers or vases or whatever. Coffee cards are nice. Like I'm a mom. I won't turn down coffee. But I'm here for you. Whatever you need, don't hesitate. All right. Have a fantastic day and just play. Don't forget to play. Go play. All right. Bye, everyone.